small data science project on disease prediction, that is heart disease prediction. And we're gonna do like, this is a very small project, okay, of machine learning, and we're gonna use two algorithms, that is decision tree and KNN. I'm gonna explain you what is decision tree. I'm gonna explain you what is KNN also, okay. And we're gonna use three visualization tool, that is Matplotlib, Seaborn and Plotly. Some people face problem in Plotly, okay. Some people actually face installation problem, some people face visualization problem. If you face any problem, then you can skip using Plotly. You can work with Matplotlib and Seaborn only, okay. So let me just give you quick overview. We're gonna just import the data, and then we're gonna do some numerical analysis, and then we're gonna come into visualization, okay, of this, of like I'm gonna show you I'm just gonna show you 2 to 3 graphs only, but I'm gonna give you this whole notebook so that you can just, I think I have done 7 to 8 or 9 graphs, okay, or actually 10 to 11, okay. So I'm just gonna give you this notebook, but while doing the project, while making the tutorial, I'm gonna use 3 to 4 graphs only I'm gonna make. And then after this heat map, and then just see this, okay, I think I have 11 to 12 graphs. And after visualization, we're gonna go for data pre-processing of splitting the data into X-train and Y-train. I'm gonna explain you what is this. I'm gonna explain you what is standard scaler and why we need to use it in KNN type of algorithm, okay, not in decision tree, because decision tree does not require standard scalar data. I'm gonna explain why it does not require, okay. I'm gonna explain what is decision tree, how to train the data, and how to predict on data, how to predict on custom data, how to plot the most important feature, and then we're gonna use KNN, okay. And we're gonna use, like, I'm gonna explain why standard scalar needs to be done, what is standard scalar, and then we're gonna just predict it. And I'm gonna tell you what is not only KNN, but what is the best value of KNN, okay, means what should be the best value of n neighbors, how to find this, how to plot this. I'm just gonna tell you that, okay. So first we just gonna do KNN prediction without standard scalar data, okay. And then we gonna, after prediction, we gonna again do data pre-processing of standard scalar. Means we gonna do data pre-processing thing of, like, you know, X means X-train and X-test, and again we gonna split the standard scaled data, okay, so that you can just see the difference of why you should actually do standard scalar thing, okay. So and then we just gonna plot, and then at last we just gonna plot what is the best algorithm for this hard disk prediction, KNN or decision tree, okay. So in KNN, first we gonna do without prediction. First we're gonna do training and testing of and prediction without scaled data, and then we're gonna use standard scalar thing, and then we're gonna again train and test so that you can see the difference, okay. Now let's start the coding. Okay, so let's start the coding, and I'm just gonna import libraries. Pandas SPD. I'm gonna import, like, for pandas for, like, to play with data, okay. And NumPy, and I don't think we're gonna use NumPy. Let's see. I'm gonna import Matplotlib. Yes, we're gonna use NumPy also, of course. Let's see. I'm gonna import matplotlib.pyplot as matplotlib pyplot as plt, and I'm gonna import Seaborn for, like, I'm gonna import Seaborn as SNS, like second visualization tool. I'm gonna import the third visualization tool also. Like, see, here in this hard disk prediction, I have not used any, like I've not used Plotly visualization. Okay, and some people also face while installing the another visualization tool, that is Plotly. But if you face any problem while working with this now, then you can leave it and you can just continue with this too. Okay, so in codings you can just ignore this while making the code. Okay, if you face any difficulty while working with Plotly on any line of code, you can skip it. Okay, import Plotly dot express as px. Now Plotly Express is just a wrapper of Plotly, means it has a very less and very simple syntax to visualize the data. Import, I'm gonna import C. Now Plotly has its own dashboard like in its website. So we are using with Jupyter, so now we need to configure this. So Plotly offline, we are using offline, na? Means in the Jupyter notebook we are not using it in its dashboard in its website. So from Plotly dot offline again, import, what are we going to import? Init notebook. If I press tab, plot, and I'm going to import iplot also. Okay, and I'm going to use cufflinks. Like cufflink is the thing, cufflink is the library which binds pandas and Plotly together. So we need cufflinks. And alright, I think everything is done. And yes, another line of code to configure Plotly. Init notebook mode pio dot init connected is equals to true. Like earlier we initialized it and like we declared it, and now cufflinks go offline. Okay, yes. Now importing of library is done. Okay, now we just need to import the CSV file. Okay, now as now where is the CSV file? Here in Python 37 I have. So here is this, and first of all I just need to write df data frame and pd dot read what CSV. Why? Because it is a CSV file. If it's an Excel file, and I need to write Excel now. Okay, read Excel, and but it's a CSV file, so CSV equals to, and here I need to give the path. No, not equals to, and here I need to give the path. I just copied backward slash and heart.csv. Okay, let's import it, heart.csv, and here I need to put R because here Python accepts forward slash and it's a backward slash, so let's call df. Here we go. We have many different parameters, and this is a target. Okay, if you have heart disease, 1 means yes and no means 0. Now we have many parameters: age, gender, chest pain, blood pressure, cholesterol value, and whatever. Let's see what this is. Okay, and so what are they? Like in general terms, like people like us don't know what is Thales, what is exchange. So let's see. I have already pasted, like I've already copied and pasted from like this. What is this? Is the info. I need to copy this because it's like too much of writing. So for you can also I see heart is not defined. It's not heart. It's df for me. Let's see what are they. Okay. Now from here we can know that age, gender, chest pain. This is chest pain. This is resting blood pressure. This CHOL is serum cholesterol. This is fasting blood sugar, and this is resting electrocardiographic. What is this? Electrocardiographic result. This is maximum heart rate, THALH. Okay. Exing is exercise induced angina. Old peak is ST depression induced by exercise related to rest. Okay. Slope is the slope of peak exercise ST segment. CA is number of major vessels, and THL is, I'm not able to know what is this. Like, this is normal, fixed. Okay, there are some kind of parameters. If it is 3, then it is normal. 6 means fixed defect, and 7 means reversible defect. Okay. Okay, so let's move forward and see. Let's see. This is our CSV file now with lots of parameters, and this is our target. So let's see how many targets are there, means how many are ones and how many are zeros. First, let's just call them the data frame names, and means DF, and from DF we are calling the column name target. Okay, so we have like almost this, and means let's see how their size. So df dot group by matter, group by, just you can say group by can make them in a single group. Okay, means total one, like all the one will be in one group and all the 0 will be in another group. Target dot size, we have like no 138 and yes 165. Now let's look at its shape. Like you have dot, not its shape but the whole data frame shape. Okay, like what is the whole data frame shape? 303 rows and 14 columns, means of course we can see from 0 to 302 means 303 rows and we have 14 columns. Okay, and now let's move forward. And just write here its size, means the total size of data frame df dot size 4242, means of course 303 into 14 is 4242. Okay, and now let's describe. Describe method is just gonna tell you mean, median, means not mean, maximum. Okay, describe, and if you do this now it will show you like this, so you need to call it in object way. See, count of age is this much, their mean, minimum, maximum, 25%, 50%, 75%, their standard deviation, like of all the things. Okay, now we are doing right now is just numerical analysis. Okay, and let's see if they have any null value or not. If they have any null value, then we need to do certain things to fill the gaps. Like see, they don't have any null value. Okay, non-null means all the, you can say that all the values are filled with some numbers but no one is null. Okay, so means all the columns or rows contain some information. Now let's simply like visualization, sorry for spelling mistake, I don't know, visualization, sorry for spelling mistake, whatever the spelling is, we have commented it, so Python will not read it. So we're gonna use matplotlib for visualization like this. Okay, like this. We're gonna use plotly also in addition. It's your choice if you want to use plotly or not. Okay, then we're gonna use, this is matplotlib, and we're gonna use numpy also. We're gonna use numpy not, seaborn also, like seaborn, and this is also from seaborn. I'm gonna give this file to you. Okay, I'm not gonna do much of visualization right now, just 2 to 3 visualization, because main focus is on prediction of heart disease. Okay, and just let's move forward for 3 to 4 visualization thing. Okay, visualization graph we're gonna make. Now let's start the visualization, and like first of all, not heart, why I'm doing this, df data frame dot histogram we're gonna make of whole data frame. Figure size we're gonna define 14 by 14. This is from like pandas built-in visualization. Like we are not using matplotlib here, no, not like plt dot or anything. Just see, okay. But to show it in correct way, like this is pandas visualization, like this is pandas built-in visualization, but it runs on the top of matplotlib. Okay, so like they both are connected. This runs pandas built-in visualization. Okay, data from data frame we are plotting histogram, but it runs on top of matplotlib. See, okay, matplotlib.axis like this. Okay, so to remove this and just to show plot correctly, we're gonna use plot plt.show and see. And I'm going to explain you what does this plot is saying. Age of figure size, I think we did right. And let's see if I do comma, then what? I don't think we have any, like we Benz 10. Alright. Now see, almost 60 age, you know, like most of the heart patients have this much of age. Okay, 60. And for chest pain, like there are actually 4 parameters of chest pain, 4 values of chest pain mostly, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 I think, and that like 0, 1, 2, 3 only. So 0 has the most, means of course, and 1 has 50, 2 has 75, and 3 has 25. 3 has a value of 25. And like all the things you can, like in gender you have only 0 and 1. 0 means female and 1 means male, most probably. Let's see what is the info. 1 means male, yes, 0 means female. So we have total patient who is female is almost 99, and almost like about 200 we have male patients. Okay, now you can just analyze the data like this. Now let's move forward to make some 2 to 3 more graphs. Now this time using Seaborn. Okay, SNS dot bar plot, we're gonna make bar plot, and we're gonna first of all see the amount of male and female patients belong to, like, who have heart disease. Okay, mostly. So bar plot df, like see, if you just do SNS dot bar plot, dot means dot, if you just press Ctrl plus space, most probably, or tab, sorry, this Ctrl plus space is for Visual Studio Editor. It will show you all the functions you can use. Okay, we're going to use bar plot here. Where's the bar plot? B. Oh, sorry. If you just write B now, bar plot, and first of all you need to do like X and Y. Okay, what's gonna be the X axis and what's gonna be the Y axis, and our X axis is gonna be the gender and Y axis is gonna be the, from DF we are calling gender, and from DF means data frame we are calling this. And let's see. To remove this again you can use plt.show. Let's see if it's work or not. Yes. See, like for this is X axis, and the amount of female patients is like almost 0.7, you can say, means 70%, and male patient have, like, of course, 45. Okay, so let's move forward to make another kind of bar plot, that is SNS dot bar plot. X gonna be our same like this. Not same actually, it's just gonna be this. X, we have gonna be like age here, age factor, and who means color. What color? According to the target value. Like whatever, like for 0 we're gonna have different color, for 1 we're gonna have different target. See, then I'm gonna explain you again what is we. See, on the x-axis we have gender, okay, 0 and 1. In y-axis we have age. So, and target is, means what is the color of target, means, and what is target here? 0. It means, so for so we have two colors basically, okay. And see, 0 gender means female of age, you can say 57, 58, and 0 means target means they don't have heart disease, okay. They don't have heart disease, but mostly in 55 they have heart disease, okay. Age of 55, women have heart disease. Males, age of 57, 56, you can say they don't have heart disease. But man, like 1 means here, orange means they have no heart disease, like see 1010. So in 55, age of 55, men have mostly heart disease, okay. So that's how you can visualize the data. And let's use one more graph. After that we're gonna use heat map. And see, I should use Plotly also, of course, because px dot Plotly Express dot, we have bar graph, okay, we have bar plot, we have histogram, we have any kind of graphs here. It's up to you what you want to. Let's see, bar graph, okay. And then, and yes, if you press the shift plus tab, it will show you all the things, not control plus space, sorry, shift plus space, shift plus tab, and shift plus tab, it will show you data. First parameter you need to give data frame, and then x and then y, okay. See, data frame, and in x what we want to see is gender, and y target. See the magic of Plotly. Let's see. Just see this, okay. If you hover your cursor, it will show you the data. Female patient, who, like female patient are total 71, okay. And female patient are total 71, and male patient are total, you can just see 90, okay. And so that's the beauty of Plotly. If you just hover your mouse, it will actually show you data, and these are like very good for visualization. I've also made a project of data analysis of COVID-19. It's in my channel, you can just watch it, okay. Now let's go for one last graph, heat map, okay. And for heat map we need numerical values, okay. Just to visualize now, we need the numerical values. And what is numerical value? Like this is not numerical value, this is just like binary value. Numerical values comes like this cholesterol, okay, this LH, this blood pressure, I think they are now. And I think we gonna use old peak also, okay. So let's just use that. And we're gonna use age also, okay. So let's make a list of them. Numeric column columns equals to, we're gonna use these 5 things, okay. Just gonna copy this. and what was the other? Age, no? And what was the other? Let's see. Is old peak and slop, not slop, but thalach, THALACH, thalach. Okay, now let's import for heatmap. SNS dot heatmap, like that's how you call heatmap. Now if you press Ctrl plus Shift, it will first show you what you parameters you need to give. Data frame minimum maximum, and df, from df we want all these columns, so numerical columns, and numeric columns we want their correlation, so this and not is equals to true. CMap gonna be like this. Is CMap is thing, like CMap thing is just like color value, you can say. Ran, and line width gonna be very small. I want line width equals to 0.1, and okay, and figure is equals to plt dot GCF, and GCF just like to set size inches. Okay, figure dot set, see, set size inches on 8:6. Now plt dot show, see, now it's little bigger. Okay, now you can actually visualize this, like the factor of age, the factor of blood pressure, the factor of, so now you can easily visualize it, like see, like for one we have very light intensity, and for minimum we have like blue light intensity, so you can visualize it right now. CHOL, and this is for age. Okay, this for old peak, this is for like thalach and all. Okay, like see, if cholesterol and thalach value is this much, then it has lower high intensity, you can visualize it. If age and thalach value is this much, okay, means they have low intensity or high intensity, you can visualize it according to that. Okay, so now let's move forward for I think I will give you this file. Okay, like they have lots of visualization, but my main concern is right now to, okay, let me also do for this one. This one is also interesting, visualization graph, and other than that you can take my notebook to create 4 disk plots. It's like a subplot. Okay, plt dot figure fix size 12:10, plt dot subplot 2 to 1, means in the axis of, like in here 2 to and first. Okay, it's like giving the axis of like x-axis, y, means here, okay, like in the 2 in the first box. Okay, means there are gonna be four plots, okay, 4 plots, so it's like 2 it should be in the first box. Okay, whatever we are gonna gonna make that graph, it should be in the first box. Okay, and similarly we're gonna do it for all the fours. Now we're gonna import our plot, this plot. This plot df, just be with me, df, from df we are calling target. Okay, dot age, no, not here, I'm going to explain, just be with me. Dot age. Okay, means see, we are calling df target is equal to 0, means from here, from target, from data frame of, like from target of data frame, we are calling this 0th number, means those who don't have heart disease. Okay, and with respect to age, so it's gonna be like age of patient without heart disease. Similarly, it's gonna be age of patient with heart disease, maximum rate of patient without heart disease, and maximum heart rate of patient with heart disease. It's gonna be like this. Okay, and it's gonna be the title, plt dot title, we're gonna give what, age of patients without heart disease. And let's see, fixed size is not defined. Really? What is this? Oh, okay, it's equals to not that. See, age of patient with heart disease, and now we're gonna make for without heart disease also. We just gonna copy from this. Now to 2. Okay, now in the second you can say row or column, second column, those patients with heart disease. So 1 of target means those who have heart disease. See, okay, same we're gonna go for maximum heart rate, or you can do for anything, no, in the third and the fourth number, and target, and we just gonna change the value here. This is a heart rate, no, just and what should be the maximum heart rate of patients without heart disease, and it's gonna be for, let's run this, and show. See, now let's visualize this. That's how you do a data analysis. Like the age of patient without heart disease, it's like it graph scores like this. Okay, age of patient without heart disease, and then age of patient with heart disease. 40, it's going up and then like down. No? It's like this. Okay, see here. I think I have not messed up anything. Maximum heart rate of patient without heart disease. Without heart disease, they have like you can say till here. Okay, 0.015 means about 150, and maximum heart rate of patient with heart disease, they go up to 200. And similarly for yeah, like this. So that's how you do data analysis. Like you just import the data and you do data visualization. Okay, like comparing one data with another data. Okay, making graphs. So that's how you do data analysis. Now let's move forward for data pre-processing, the third step. Okay, like first one was just importing the libraries and just doing the numerical analysis. Then we did this visualization, okay, visualization analysis, and now just pre-processing. Third step is pre-processing, and the fourth step gonna be the making the model to predict heart disease. Okay, now let's do pre-processing. So in data pre-processing now we do like we pre-process the data before making into model. Means we just store the data in X and Y, and we split the data in X train and Y train. We do like label encoding, standard scalar. We're not gonna do label encoding because we just have two categories. Like we just have target 1 and 0. Like they are already in numerical form, na, and all the data in numerical form. So label encoding is done to convert labels into numerical form, and all the data is already in numerical form. So we don't need to do that. We're gonna do standard scalar to see in KNN. Right now we're gonna use first of all decision tree algorithm, but in KNN see the difference of 63 and 233. It's just gonna do standard deviation of every numerical value, and it's just gonna bring everything down. Like this value and this value gonna be like they're gonna scale down. Okay, so that we can predict the model using KNN algorithm, K nearest neighbor, so that their difference should be very less to predict. Okay, so but in decision tree we don't need to scale this down, because in decision tree it's just like if it is right, or if it is if it is true then do this, or if it is not true then do this. I'm going to explain you. Okay, but let's do first of all pre-processing of data. It's time for data pre-processing, and we're just gonna store some values in X and Y. I'm gonna explain you why. X and Y. df dot lock method is used to call the columns by its name, like okay, and ilock method is used for call the number of columns using their index value, like 0 1 2. Okay, like lock we want to store all the parameters, means all the features till here in X and the target value in Y, so that in X and Y should be separated. Okay, means Y gonna have the target value and X gonna have all the features. So we want from starting, okay, like no, we want all the rows and we want columns of from starting to, like if you do like this now, like comma, so it's like from, or we want all the rows and then comma, if comma, if in the case of columns we want all the columns from starting to thal. Okay, and if we talk about Y, then we just want the target. So let's see, if you call X, then see till here, and remaining one is now in Y. Okay, see this, remaining one is in Y. Okay, so let's find out their shape. Earlier the shape of data frame was 303 by 14 column, but after giving it their features, it's like 303 by 13 columns, and one column has been shifted to Y now. So now let's split their data after, means after separating X and Y. Let's split their data in X train and Y train, and X test in Y test means let's say X has a size of 3939. So 70% of the data we're gonna use for training and 30% we're gonna use for testing. Okay, like if model has been trained correctly or not. So from sklearn dot model selection, we gonna import train test split. Yes, it's coming. And we have like X already, no? And we have Y ready. So let's just do X train comma X test, means whatever like see, X train means we have features in X now. So we're gonna split this data for 70% for training and 30% for testing, and Y is the label. Okay, so we're gonna import like Y train and Y, like 30% is for testing. So it's gonna import in such a way that 70% of the data is gonna go in X train with their corresponding labels, and 30% of the data and the 30% of the data it's gonna store in X test with their labels, that is Y test. Okay, now let's see equals to train test split. We're gonna split Y, X and Y, and in a random state. What is random state means? Whenever you split now, it will give you same figure. Okay, first of all it's gonna split the data randomly, but whenever you execute this column now, it will give you same splitted data. Okay, it's not gonna change the data. If you leave it to none now, then it's gonna change the data. But just put any integer, even it's 0, 42 or whatever, it doesn't matter. Now test size gonna be how much? 30%. So 0.3 and shuffle. Yes, shuffle the value. Shuffle first shuffle, then split. Okay, now let's see. X train is, see what is the size of X train dot first, let's see shape. It's now 212. Earlier it was earlier the shape of X was 303, no? 303 rows, comma 13 column, and now 70% of the data, 70% of the features has been transferred to X train. So 212, and for X test, if you just write like this now, see, and like see randomly 246, 183, 229, and look at this shape. 91 rows is for testing. Okay, means 91, 13. So 212 means 70% of data is now with X train and 30% is for testing. Okay, and if you just call earlier the size of Y was this 303 now. Okay, but now after Y, like see, earlier it was the Y now, and it has the size of 303. But now let's see, after splitting into training and testing, let's see, randomly it has been splitted, and the size 212, and for test the size is 91. Okay, it's their labels. So okay, so now the data has been splitted for the training, and we just need to now make the decision tree classifier to predict, and then we're gonna use KNN method to predict the data. Okay, we are in the last part. We have imported the data, we visualized it, we did numerical analysis, then we visualized it, we did pre-processing of splitting the data into training and testing, and now we're gonna predict by using our model. Okay, let's do our last part and let's see if decision tree is better or KNN. Okay, let's do it. So let's make the model, and our first model is decision tree classifier. Let me just explain you what is decision tree in a very simple way. Okay, like those who don't know. Let's see. Decision tree classifier is a very simple algorithm of classification, and let's see. It's just like it's just like true or false. Okay, like if a weather is rainy, or sunny, okay, it's like true or false. See, if it's a rainy, then if it's a windy, then if it's raining and if there is a wind, means all the windy thing, and if wind is weak, then you should go out. Okay, and if the wind is strong, then you should not go out. And whether if cloud, and if there is just a cloud, then yes, you should go out. And same, if it's a sunny and if there is a humidity of normal, then yes, go out. And if humidity is high, then don't go out. Okay, so it's just like true or false, just like true or false. Okay, and so we just gonna make the model to predict if you have heart disease or not, like based on these parameters. Okay, so the decision tree will just, you can say, analyze the pattern. Okay, analyze the pattern, like if you come under this range, means let's suppose if your age is around 60 to 65 and you are a male, and if you have chest pain this much, okay, and if you have trust BPS of 150 to 140 or whatever, so if you just come under all these parameters, okay, in a range, then chances are that you have heart disease. So decision tree gonna just analyze all these patterns to predict that you have heart disease or not. Okay, you can say, you can't say that it memorize, but it actually analyze the patterns. Okay, it actually analyze the patterns, and based on these parameters, if all of your parameters comes under this range, then you have heart disease, and if all of your parameters comes under this range, then you don't have heart disease. So it analyzes the patterns, and now after training it will recognize it, and if your parameters comes under that parameters, then chances are that you have heart disease or not, it will predict. Okay, now let's how to classify from sklearn. You just need to import sklearn.tree, and from sklearn.tree import decision tree is also used for classification and regression also. Okay, for the ISI tree classifier. See, and now let's name our model as DT. Some people like just do this, that's also alright. So I'm just gonna name it DT equals to what? Decision tree classifier. There we go, our model is there. And now how to train it? Okay, now we have 4 things: X train, X test, Y train, Y test. So we're gonna train X train, okay, to predict on X test. So DT means model dot fit, that's all. Dot fit train, or training should be done on X train with their labels of, like, what is their labels? Y train. Okay, oops. and alright, that's all you need to do. You just need to import the classifier, you just need to name it, and then decision tree classifier dot fit. Okay, means fit means do the training on this thing with respect to this their labels. Okay, now shift plus enter. See, your training is done. Okay, and let's predict on X test. First let's call X test and let's see. Okay, we just called it. Okay, now let's predict on this and see if first of all let's predict on whole X test. I'm naming it prediction. Okay, dt decision tree dot predict on what? On X test. So X test. Now we just gonna find the accuracy, means like we done our prediction, and first let's call it. Okay, see, X test there. This is X test, and let's call its labels now, means Y test, and let's match it. First one is means just see 0 0 0, it has 1 0 0, then 1 0, and according to let's just find the accuracy, like how much it predicted correctly. Okay, I'm gonna explain you what I'm doing. Accuracy dt, accuracy of decision tree classifier, I'm naming it, and I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. Accuracy score. Okay, we're gonna find the accuracy. Just be with me. Y test with prediction means here means we're gonna compare these two thing. Okay, means see, we predicted on X test. Okay, this is predicted data, this is predicted data, and this is actual data. Okay, this one is predicted data and this one is actual data, and we're just gonna compare that how much it predicted correctly on the X test with the actual data. Means see, just take it like in the first one it is saying you have heart disease, and in this one it is saying you don't have heart disease. Means it predicted wrong here, no? Okay, so we're just gonna compare prediction, means the predicted data and the actual data. Okay, so and accuracy score we need to define it, so I'm just gonna define it for like I think import from sklearn dot, if I just press them, then it's gonna come matrix. I'm gonna import accuracy score. Okay, run it, and then here we go. Just see. Let's and let me do it. No, alright. Let me find it. See, 75%, and means if I just do now like this, 100, 75%. Okay, so 75.82% is our accuracy score. Now let's see, like prediction is done, training is done, prediction is done, and I'm going to show you how to improve the result. Okay, how to improve the result, I'm just gonna tell you. Like see here, if you press shift plus tab in Jupyter Notebook, it will show you maximum depth of the branch. Okay, means maximum depth, how much it should we want, like you can also do it now, like let's say 3. Okay, let's do 3. Means if I again go now decision tree, what I'm doing is see, not here also, but here, like see, it has many branches. So what we wanted, we was just want like not even this one also, but see this one. No, not just see this one. It is little more tilted, but alright. Okay, It's like this. Just understand this, even if the image is not clear that much. Okay. See, it has many branches. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's going and going. So we just want it. So we just want the maximum depth of the branch should be 3 only. Okay, means 1, 2, and not more than 3 should go. Okay, so let's try. You can also do it like for loop, for like using for, if you just know the Python basics, then you can do like maximum that is equals to n. Then for I in range of n, 5, 10, 15, 20, you can find the best maximum depth to find the greater accuracy. Just let's predict, and accuracy is 74% in this case. And you can just like play with this data, 5 or any even number, it can be 72. So by default, I don't know what it took, like let's see 7, 75. So you can just play with this data. Okay, and let's find the feature importance, like which feature is the most important, means according to decision tree, among all these features, which feature is the most important to tell that you have a heart disease or not, whether if it is your age or your gender or chest pain or cholesterol or blood pressure. Okay, so which one is the most important, right? So we just can find out decision tree dot. If you press tab, then it will tell you feature importance. This comes like this. Okay, like in the array form. Let's write in a much better way. Let's just make a function df plot feature importance. Okay, and let's say here dt some or model. So no, actually model should be the parameter, and whatever the model is, you can just do it. plt.figure. Okay, just be with me. I will explain you. Figure size should be 8 by 6. Just be with me. Okay, figure size should be 8 by 6. Now, and number of features we just want is 13, means how many number of features it has? 13, right? So features equals to 13, and plt dot what barh range, and means what it's gonna just do. We are making model dot feature importance, right? It should all copy this one. And center. Okay, all right. And I think I have not. Okay, and just plot this. Let's just call the function feature importance, and what is our model? dt. In well syntax where plt. Okay, we plot feature. Yes, there should be this one. Now let's see what error we got. Takes no argument keyword. Oh, I did wrong here, of course, and it should be like this. Okay, there we go. The second one. Now what is second one here? You can just literally find out, like I think chest pain is second one. It's chest pain. You can write it like just in a much better way according to the data presentation. plt dot. Okay, it's just gonna take some time only. ticks, okay, ticks, ticks, okay, numpy dot arrange and features x, okay, in the x-axis, plt dot x label, okay, and what feature importance means in the x-axis we're gonna name this plt dot y label maybe the features name according to the features name, features, and plt dot y limit, what should be our limit, -1 and features. Alright, see, according to the like in the viewpoint of data presentation, you can actually present it like which feature is the most important. Chest pen, okay, so you can just simply like if you just maximum that let it choose by default and see minimum, if you maximum features you want, like which maximum feature you want, like in the model you have 13 features, okay, so what you want is like in the decision tree it should only analyze those features which is like very important and leave the rest of the thing, because it makes the calculation very unnecessarily complex and does makes the sometimes prediction wrong, okay. So we have like 1 2 3 okay, 3 we don't want, we just want 10 features, like it has 13 no, 13 columns, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 to 13. So 3 are of no use, like see THL, REST, CG, I'm not, I don't remember right now. FBS means I think it was blood pressure thing. 3 are of no use, so we just gonna drop them, and means we just gonna use the maximum feature thing, maximum, what was that, maximum, I don't know what is happening. Strange thing is happening with me. Well, I don't know what was the problem, so it was saying like how to write it, max features like this now, and it should be 10 only. Now let's see if the model has improved or not. No, accuracy is like it really went down, man. Accuracy really went down. If we let's see, we can actually play with this now. Let's see, we want to drop me is according to this, let's just do maximum feature 8 only, okay, fit 8 only, means I think model is dropping according to like which is of no use. I hope it is not dropping this one, okay, I hope, we can just hope, or we can just remove it with like remove it you can say from X train, okay, literally 72%. Let's remove them now. Let's remove them from X train, okay, like see, this is right now X train you have. Let's just try, we are just trying, okay, otherwise you can skip it for like you skip it and you can go for that KNN part. We don't need FBS. Now see, I think dropping was bad idea. Let's CA and CP. I think okay, it didn't drop that, but I just came here and see like FBS it didn't drop. I don't know what it dropped, but all right, you can either drop it like this, na, like I am dropping right now. Where it is, you can either drop it. What should I drop? FBS, okay. PS from axis 1, na? From axis 1, FBS is not there, and now in place equals to true. To remove it permanently, in place equals to true. Let's call this function. Call this xtrain again to make sure FBS is not there, and let's see if it can maximum feature. Let me remove this because I think everything was, how many columns are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 12. Sorry, 1 2 3 4 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. How still 13, man? Shit. 12. Oh yes, of course. I don't know, I was counting wrong. In xtest we are in xtest I think we should also remove it, because of course otherwise we cannot test it, you know. How can, I don't know, let's not remove it. Prediction of xtest, what it will show? Yes, the model input feature was 12 and in xtest it is 13, so we have to remove this. xtest here, let's remove here x test, and I'm just gonna simply copy this one. Oops. And from xtest it is also removed. See, FBS is not there. Okay, now let's do procedure of training again. I don't know, it was not still. Accuracy 75% again, but okay, it's not growing. 30, no, feature is 12, no? Yeah. CP is still there, but FBS has not been removed. It's like strange, I don't know what it is showing right now. Why? FBS we removed it. FBS we removed it, man. Okay guys, so solve this one. Like FBS is not there, na? And I don't know. I think we have to now remove it from X, and then we need to split it. Okay, let's remove it permanently from this one. Then let's remove this. Okay, means in X it is like this. Okay, with FBS. So let's remove this from X, and then we gonna split the data again. So that's how you sometimes need to now debug your thing, or that's how you need to experiment. Like now we splitted it again. Okay, now if you go call the xtrain, it does not have that FBS. Okay, now you don't need to drop it again, because it will show you FBS is not there. Okay, because FBS was like removed already, and of course in X-ray it will also show you like FBS not found, because we split it na by removing FBS from X actually. Okay, then let's test it and see. Prediction, I think 73%. See, FBS is not there. Yeah, because see, we were using X here, na? Okay, so all the ticks of X. So that's why. So sometimes you actually need to pre-processing your data. Every time you need to do data feature data engineering. Every time you will, sometimes you even need to do data analysis again and again, okay, just to know what you are doing wrong. Okay, like I did data processing again. You have to do it in the field of data science. You actually need to do do same process again and again just to know what you are actually doing wrong. Okay, like we were using X here by in the Vitex, so it was showing that. Okay, model is not improving, it's still in like 75% of accuracy. And now, and how you actually you can say predict the data according, like predict the custom data. Okay, custom data means I'm gonna show you it. Like see, let's predict this one, okay, and not even this, but see full. So let's predict this, okay, like if you have this much parameter, okay, then not even X, no, let me call whole data frame, means if you have this much parameter, okay, then let's see if this is the actual data, okay, means you have a hard disk. But let's see if model can predict it right or not. Okay, one is there, so we can actually compare just by looking at it. Okay, let's do one thing. X means custom data. You can say custom data importing in decision tree equals to numpy.array form. In the numpy.array form, okay, now in 2 dimension, okay, 2D axis. I'm going to show you why, and let me give all the data just like this, like 63. Okay, you can give your own, like whatever is your age. My age like 22, so I can give my own input. Okay, just to see if it can actually predict 1 here or not. Okay, so we can just compare it by looking above data. 1, 3, 145, 233, 1, 0, 150, 0, 2.3, 0, 0, 1. Okay, alright. Now let's see. Now this is a custom data, and let's predict it. DT, let's predict it. And let me give it name X DT custom data DT. No, let's call it custom data only, and let's call it custom data prediction of DT. Okay, let's DT is equals to DT dot predict what we need to predict, custom data. So let's custom data, and what should sorry we don't need to give FBS now, because see, error is showing that number of features of the model must match the input. Number of model and feature is 12, means after we split it now for training, and input feature we gave is 13, so we will need to remove it off like this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 we don't need this 1 2. Now let's predict. Okay, and let's call this custom data to see custom 1 it is showing, means we have hard disease. Okay, let's try one more thing, then I'm going to show you how to write it in a much better way. Okay, just be with me. 57 0 0 and trace BPS is 1. I'm giving this one. Okay, this one of like this one 140, means it predicted correctly, accurately, like it is predicted, na? 1. See here, 1. Okay, yes, we have heart disease. 40 and 241. Rest tag I am giving, it was 1. 123, I left FBS, and 1, 0.2, 1, 0, and it is 3 here. Okay, 0. Yes, we don't have heart disease. C also here, you don't have heart disease. Okay, now how to write it in a much better way so that any client can understand without understanding of NumPy array. Let me write it anywhere I want. Let me write it here only. Okay, why should I go category? What is our category here? Yes or no? So 0 means no, na? So 0th index should be no. Yes. Actually, I should shift it so that here. Okay. Here, and see how to write it. Okay. Means how to write it. Print category or category, and what should be the index here? This one. Okay, custom data means if this result is 0, na, then it will show no. Okay, and if this result is 1, then it will show yes. So you know, you can actually write no, you don't have heart disease. No, you don't have heart disease. Sorry for spelling whatever of disease is. Okay, and you don't know you have heart disease. Yes, you have heart disease. And okay, alright. List object. It should be like this one. Okay, and under that category int. Okay, sometimes I need to see that integer. Why integer? I will explain you. Just give me some time. No, you don't have heart disease. Why integer? Because see, it is in the array form. If you just call this like this, now custom data, it is now in an integer, not in array form. So what is the, like, now this is 0. Okay, now this has become 0 here now. And what is the 0th index of category? No, you don't have heart disease. And what is the 1th index of category? Yes, you have heart disease. So if I just go with like reverting of like earlier it showed us one, no? See, 1th is the integer, and yes, you have heart disease. So we are calling it according to its index. Okay, so means category, it has 2 index, 1, 0 and 1, and whatever is the value, it will actually print it. It's whatever it is, it has written in the index. So yes, you have heart disease. Okay, now let's move forward for KNN. K nearest neighbor, it is also very easy. K nearest neighbor algorithm. Okay, algorithm, and then we're gonna compare which one is better. Listen to KNN. Now what is KNN? K nearest KNN algorithm is super easy again. See, K nearest neighbor is simple. Like if you have data point now, and K nearest neighbor uses this one. Okay, see, this is your data point, and you want to predict like this green box. Now this green point, which class does it belongs? Does it belongs this triangular class or does it belongs to the square class? Okay, it has two classes, square and triangular, and you have given the data of like which class does it belongs. So k nearest neighbor will actually calculate the predicted data point of like nearest predicted data point. Okay, it predicted on that and found like some data points, which some parameters you can say. Okay, like which parameters are matching with this data, this input data of like this circle na. Okay, like the ages, the color you can say, or the ages, the shape. Okay, so it predicted, and now it is recognizing which parameters of which class is most nearest to this circle. Okay, which class is more nearest to this circle. Okay, so see, if you give k is equals to 3, okay, k nearest neighbor is equals to 3, so this input point will see which of that data. Okay, what are those data which are very nearest to this data. Okay, what are those three data? If you give now k is equals to 3, means what are those three data which is very nearer to 3, and see, these three are very nearer to 3. Okay, and among those three, which are in majority? These two. So this circle belongs to triangle class, means this circle is actually triangle, means just understand the logic now. And if you give k is equals to 6, now it will actually bigger its circle. Okay, and it will actually see what are those 6 data points which are very nearest to this. Okay, it has given, I think, k is equals to 5. Okay, what are those data points what are those 5 data points which are very nearest to this? Okay, according to their shape or whatever. So these 5 are very nearest. These 5 are very nearest, and among those 5 which are in you can say majority, this box. Okay, so this circle belongs to this box. Okay, so that was all about k nearest neighbor. You can go for like any example, but that was all about k nearest neighbor, the basics. Okay, and how to know which k is best means we should give k is equals to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just gonna find out. We can actually find out like how much our circle should be, how big our circle should be, how much data point we need to collect to you can say predict we should give k is equals to 3 or we should give k is equals to 5. We're gonna find out. Okay, let's move forward. And k and n is equals to, we can actually find out like k nearest neighbor now from sklearn dot what neighbors. You can call import k nearest neighbor, and there is one more thing, k neighbors classifier. Okay, so k and n is equals to k neighbors classifier. That's all. Now k and n dot fit means we are training on what xtrain. We are training xtrain with respect to its labels, that is ytrain. Let's train it, and now let's predict on prediction of k and n, and k and n dot predict on xtest. Okay, predict only xtest means we trained on xtrain, and now we're gonna test on xtest and see accuracy score. Okay, means how we wrote in accuracy dt. Okay, alright, accuracy k and n. Okay, accuracy score of what y-test, like means the actual data versus the predicted data. Now how we wrote. You can actually see. Oh, where I think everything is lost. Actual data was a predicted data, no? Okay, I'm just gonna copy this one. And how much is the score? 73% is the accuracy. How to increase this? In k nearest neighbor, we gonna say like we can actually give here. See, if you press now shift plus tab, it will actually show you the parameters you can give and neighbors you can give here. Okay. Now how to know? N neighbors mean k equals to, okay, means the k nearest neighbor. So how much should be the k? How much means the neighbors data you want to collect? Let's say 5 and 73. Let's say 3 only. It's always good to go for odd numbers. Okay, it's always good to go for odd numbers. Accuracy is not improving, odd is improving, but still, let's go for 17. No. Okay, then let's find out how to know which, like, how many neighbors should be there to accurately predict, like if you have heart disease or not. Okay, let's first predict on custom data. Again, you can just simply do it now. Again, you can just simply custom data input of KNN, let's say, and I'm just gonna copy this, copy that one. Where it is. Yeah, numpy.array. Okay, we have taken our custom data and dt.pre, but it's just like you just need to it's KNN here and it's KNN here also. I think we are done, and let's see. What we gave was remember we gave of this one, like see if you have heart disease or not according to k nearest neighbor. Okay, let's custom data KNN. No, I think it should predicted no KNN dot predict custom data KNN, sorry. KNN, we are predicting this one, this input. Okay, and data, it should be, sorry for little bit confusion, data. Okay, so we have given custom input of in the variable custom data KNN, and now we are predicting this data with the help of KNN.predict, and we are storing it in this variable. And now let's call this variable 1. Yes, we have heart disease. Okay, and again you can just simply do that category thing, category integer. I think it was we wrote like this line. Let's copy this one. Very syntax, and yeah, yes, we have heart disease. But let's find out what can standard scaler do, like what standard scaler actually do. It comes under data pre-processing. Yes, we are again data pre-processing, and where it is? See, standard scaler. Let's find out. Again in k means I'm going, okay, k mean KNN algorithm. Pause in the image. Okay, now let's see why what does standard scaler do and why it is necessary. See, the magnitude is 63, and for ThELH it's 150, and for Exchange it's 0. See the difference. Okay, just see the difference. It's like centimeter, it's like having the centimeter, meter, miles means kilometers, and then miles means, see the difference between centimeter and kilometer, right? So in decision tree, it's we don't need to scale down data. We don't need to do that in decision tree because it's just like yes or no. In decision tree, it's just like doing yes or no. If it comes under that parameters, then it's yes, or if it doesn't come under that parameter, then it's no. But in KNN, it actually finds out the nearest data by using the mathematics of equality and distance. Okay, means it will calculate the distance and then it will find out what is its class. In decision tree, it's just like yes or no, no. But in KNN, K nearest neighbor, it will find out, it will calculate the distance, and to calculate the distance, every data point needs to be need to be nearest possible way. Like see, if one data point is like 1 centimeter and another one is 10 kilometer away, so how this can even calculate what is the best value or what is its class? Now, means if one data point is just 1 centimeter away and another one is 10 kilometer away, so how can it calculate what is its class? And the finding out of equality and distance is just not possible because two data points are very away from each other. So that 10 kilometer data points need to be near to this point so that it can even calculate the equality and distance between this and the 10 kilometer away. Means see this one, okay, this one is near, okay, this one is near, but what if it went to actually that far away, na? So now calculation will go wrong. So it should be near to, means it is near already, but okay, means if it is away, then it should be near around its environment to calculate the equality and distance. Otherwise the calculation will go very wrong. So if any point is in a very much distance, in a very greater distance, then we need to scale down. We actually need to scale down the data, every data, to come under a particular value. Let's say if come under 0 and 1. Okay, it should not be 10, 100. Okay, like if one data point is 1 and another one is 100. No, every data point need to come under, let's say, 0 and 1. Okay, whether it's 0.10 and whether it is 0.59 versus 0.10 versus, not versus, but even if one is 0.10 and another one is 0.90, then that's fine because it's under 0 and 1. But it's not fine if it is 10 and another one is 100. Okay, that's gonna make the that's actually gonna create the difficulty. And what the standard scaler do is it just use the function of, it just use the mathematics of normal distribution of data. Okay, it's like you can say it just do standard normal distribution of every parameter. Means every feature will get normal distributed by doing after calling the standard normal deviation. Okay, so every data point, means this 53 and this 234 and this 0 will be scaled down in just a particular range so that this kn and this point can actually calculate its distance. Okay, so that now accuracy can go high because calculation is now possible. Okay, so now let's call it here also, here only, not in data preprocessing, but it's come under data preprocessing of, let's call it here now. Yes, data preprocessing after splitting. I think we should either you have the option of you can say, all right, let's let's do the normal distribution of whole x. Okay, how to do it? From sklearn dot pre-processing, now sklearn dot pre-processing, oh not pipeline, pre-processing, import standard scaler. Okay, and how to do it? Let's say std, standard normal distribution we are calling, and standard scaler, not like this, but you can actually do it like this. Standard scaler dot fit. What x means? First analyze the pattern of x. Fit means, of course, first just analyze the pattern of x, then do the normal distribution like this. Okay, means let's call it, I think it's just a good idea of doing a standard normal distribution of whole x. Then we can split it into x train and y train. X std means the converted of x. Okay, x std is equals to, how to call it? See, sc dot transform means first it analyzed the pattern of x. Here I have transformed the, like, here I have transformed. First I have analyzed the pattern of x train, then I have transformed it, and then I have transformed x test also according to the x train. But here I am not transforming x train or x test. Here I am transforming whole x completely. Okay, so how to transform it? sc dot how to call? Sc dot transform. Simple. No, not sc. We have named it std dot transform of x. See here. Okay, then we will split it. Earlier x was this. Now let's see after transformation. See, I think I have not done any mistake. No. Okay, after transformation of, and what is its name? Transformed x is x std. See the difference. See the difference. Okay, 2 3 means, if let me find out the shape, if I can. I don't know. Yes, it's still 12, mean 303 by 12, but now let's just see now. See the difference. Okay, 63 has become this, 1 has become this, means just see, it has actually scaled down in just a particular range of 0 to 1, and sometimes even minus. So you know, if you do normal standard deviation, it will actually happen. But see, it has actually scaled down. Like, difference between 63 and 1 is huge. But now see, the difference between 0.9 and 0.68 is nothing. This one now, this one is a first row here, you can see. Okay, here dot has given, means it has skipped some part. But if I just call this one now, see, okay, see, x std means transformed. X std is what? Transformed x, and the 0th index means the 0th one. See, 63 has become 0.952, 1 has become 0.6. Now difference is nothing. And third, fourth, fifth, see, minus 2.63. See the difference between 1 and 2, 3. Now the difference between 0.68, which was actually 1, and 233, which was actually, means minus 0.25, which was actually 233. Now the difference between them is nothing. Okay, so that's why you should do standard normal division for most of the KNN problems. Okay, now let's split the data. So not x here, but we need to split x std into x train, and let's not name it here, let's name it different. No? Stand s means whatever it's gonna we are splitting of x standard deviation data into 70% of 70% to training, and we are naming it xtrain std, and 30% of testing we are naming it xtest std, and of course that's all. Why train it's see, and xtrain, if you actually see this, see, okay, we have splitted this, and of course we don't need to run this, and in decision tree we don't need to run this, as I said. So leave it like this, and let's just come for KNN. Okay, here we need to train a standard. Okay, means standard data we are training, and to predict it we also need to do this, because if you just predict in xtest, no, it will not show you good result. Okay, like, because the difference is huge still, so we need to predict it on the converted standard data. So that's why xtest steady. And what is xtest? If I just show you now, okay, again still because I just want to make sure you all will learn correctly. So we are training training it on, means we have trained it on standard data, okay, standard deviated data. But if we predict on this data, na, so the difference is huge and it cannot just predict correctly. So if we predict on this standard deviation data, then it will actually predict more accurately. See, the accuracy was 45, and now after accuracy was 45 means on this without converted data. But if we just do on converted data, means in this one, if we do prediction, see, the accuracy has increased to 79%. And now actually see, like, first now let's see here, even this custom data needs to be get converted into standard scalar data, because see, the difference is in 63 and versus 1 and in 145 is still huge. So we see this one, and now we actually need to convert this. How we need to convert this? Like this. There it is. See, this one was that, okay, and we actually need to just transform it, okay, like, and we need to transform it just like we transformed xtest. We need to transform this one also, okay. So custom data KNN std, and we can just transform just like we transformed x, now we can transform this one also above one. So let's call this. So earlier this was this, okay, now after transforming it has become this, okay. So now it can predict, and custom data KNN std, this one we need to predict. Predict std is not defined. I think I'm doing what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Std. Any spelling mistake I'm doing? Oh, sorry. It's capital C. Okay. 1. Yes, we have heart disease. Okay. And that was all. And means now we just have two things, that finding out the best k value, and here I have done something terrible mistake of spelling mistake. Let me put all prediction and prediction. I actually called two kind of prediction, PRE and PRY. Don't do this terrible mistake. Okay, now let's find out the best value of k, and then we will then we will see, and we will just plot the you can say KNN versus decision tree plotting. K range we want it to go from 1 to 26, okay, means 1 to 25, and scores equals to only this. And for k in range of what? K in k range means from 1 to 26. What it will do, I will actually just tell you. Just give me one. KNN is equals to KNN dot, sorry, not dot, KNN is equals to K nearest classifier, and means we are declaring here, and n neighbors will be what? N neighbors will be k, means I will explain you, not means here, but I will explain you. KNN dot fit on X train STD with Y train, and it should predict PRE, okay, prediction of KNN. Okay, let me just give it KNN. I don't know, I should just not get confused. Like above one, KNN dot predict on X test STD and let's just find out the accuracy score, and I'll tell you what I'm doing. Okay, accuracy score of Y test, the actual data versus the predicted data, and now see what I did. I declared the range of 1 to 26, and for k in k range, okay, I declared k equals to k nearest k neighbors classifier, and neighbors, how much neighbor I want? From 1 to 26, and then after training, like train and test, and then whatever is the accuracy score, just append it in this dictionary like this. Okay, see, first it you can say it put k n neighbors equals to 1. Yes, 1. It trained, it test, and whatever is the accuracy score, it appended it here in the dictionary form. So sir, see, for n neighbors equals to 1 means for the value of k is equals to 1, accuracy score is 75%. For the value means for n neighbors equals to 2, again it went for like n neighbors equals to 2. It trained, test, and what is the accuracy score? 0.81. For 3, training and testing, and what is the accuracy score? Is 3. And let's find out what is the best accuracy score. So we can just find out plt.plot of in x-axis we want k range, and in y-axis we want prediction KNN. I think it was like this. Oh, I don't know. Scores list, or scores, you can say scores. I think okay, it don't plot dictionary now, so we need to make it a list. Scores list, okay, means plotting of dictionary is not possible, so scores list dot append the what we want to append, this one, means it will see, it is now in the dictionary form, and now it will get converted into list form. See if I just call scores list now, see, now it's in the list form, okay, not in dictionary. And you can actually means plt dot plot what? Plot k range with scores list here. See, for 5 or 7, I think, or 8, accuracy is very high, and for 1 accuracy is most low. Okay, let's use Plotly to understand better. Px Plotly express dot line, and x is our k range, and y is our scores list. And let's see for k is equals to 8 means x is equals to 8 means k is equals to 8. Our accuracy is 84% if you hover your mouse, and for lowest you can just simply see for 1 accuracy is 75%, for 11 accuracy 78%, and what is the second highest? 10, 82%. But for 8 we can find it the accuracy of 84%. Now let's put what we need to put, actually 8. Okay, and we will put 1 also, and we will actually test it if it is actually true or false. And neighbors equals to 1. Okay, see the accuracy 75% here. Okay, and if I put 8, then it will go above 84 now, I think. Yes, 84% accuracy. So that's how you can, using this kind of thing, that's how you can actually find out the best range of KNN. Okay, and now it's the final part. Okay, we just need to plot which algorithm did best, decision tree or we just need to find out decision tree did good or KNN. Okay, so we will go for like which algorithm did best and there. Okay, in x-axis we gonna have algorithms, in y-axis we gonna have accuracy score. So let's just do this. Algorithms is our decision tree, and second one is KNN, and scores is what was the score? I think for KNN what I printed that accuracy KNN, and I think accuracy DT was for let me find out accuracy. Yes, and accuracy KNN. Okay, now PLT dot bar, I think, yeah, bar plot, and in x-axis we want algorithms, and y-axis we want their scores. Now S1 model PLT, really? SNS, so we're gonna use SNS, not PLT, of course, because SNS has bar, means SNS has the argument of bar plot, but in I think PLT it has bar. Let's just try now. PLT has bar. Yes, it has, but the color is, that's why some people just prefers SNS, but I prefer Plotly actually. Okay, because if you hover your mouse, then it will actually tell you the data. Plot and see. And yeah, so you can actually see that KNN actually did better. Okay, that's how you can actually analyze the data. Okay, which algorithm did best. So I hope you like this tutorial, you found this useful. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, because I am getting you more and more projects like this. I'm gonna give you more projects like this. So just click the like button, subscribe.